Let's wait some moment until there are some audience. Let's wait some 20 seconds. So I think we can start now. So hello everyone, welcome to our second live, our second GedX live, presented by GDG Algiers. So this live will be about what are the potential business openings that 5G could create across diverse industries, and it will be presented by Mr. Imad Allal. The floor is yours.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everybody. My name is Imad Allal. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Namla startup, Edge Computing and Edge AI startup. I'm very happy, very glad to be with you today in order to share with you this presentation. During this presentation, I'm going to talk about new technology, an exciting one, which is the 5G. And the idea here is to share an overview about it, to learn what's this technology 5G, which is about being deployed all around the world today. What's the difference between this technology and the previous one, 4G, 3G, 2G, and so on? And in particular, what are the main use cases that this new technology will open, and what will be the potential business use cases that could be created based on this technology. So to start, let's get an overview about the evolution of mobile connectivity and telecommunication in general. So in 1980, the first generation of connectivity and of telecommunication networks was born, uh, that we call the first generation. It was a very basic one. It allowed mainly and only, I would say, voice communication between human to human. And it was the first time that people were able to communicate through telecommunication network. 10 years later, the second generation of mobile network was born, that we call 2G, or also GSM. What was new in 2G? It was the first time that people get the possibility to share, to exchange not only voice calls, but also data. At the beginning, very small amount of data based on SMS or messaging. And after that, this technology allowed also the, the exchange of data, or let's say kind of internet connectivity based on what certain people call uh, 2.5 generation of mobile network, or GPRS. After that, like 10 years after, the third generation of connectivity network was born. And here we got the opportunity to exchange an amount of data which was much more important than 2G. And the the introduction of the concept of always connected, which means that when you exchange data through 3G, you are able to be always connected to the network. And with also the introduction of cloud computing, at least the first deployment of cloud computing, and also the concept of online streaming. After that, we got the fourth generation of mobile network that we call 4G, or also some people called it LTE. So for long-term evolution network. Um, it allowed this technology allowed not only communication between human, but also it introduced another concept, which is machine to machine communication for use cases related to internet of things deployment and this kind of use cases. And now, starting from 2020, the five generation of mobile network was born. Within also the massive deployment of Internet of Things use cases that has been started within the arrival of the fourth generation of mobile network, but also with new use cases around what we call critical communication, which means for use cases where high availability of network is required, but also real-time reactivity is needed, and also within the introduction of what we call enhanced mobile broadband, which means very high level and the very high speed of connectivity. So as you can remark, so every 10 years almost we got a new generation of mobile network. So which means that today in different countries, mobile network operator has started the deployment of the 5G, and it's something that will continue for the few coming years. But what's good, what you need to know also that NND people has already started the standardization of the next generation of mobile network, which is the 6G, which will be deployed almost in 10 years, so around 2030. So what's 5G? Just to understand the architecture of a 5G network, what you need to keep in mind about whatever technology, 4G, 5G, or 2G or 3G, always when we talk about mobile network architecture, there are three main parts. The first one is what we call the core network, uh, where subscription is handled, data management, and so on. The second part is what we call the RAN, radio access network, composed mainly of base stations and antenna. And this part handle connectivity from radio point of view. And the third and last part is the user equipment or the device, basically smartphones today. So when it comes to 5G, we will have the same architecture with the same main parts, with 5G core networks composed of different components, UPF, SMF, AMF. There's no need to go into the details. A new generation of antenna and base station that we call G Node B, that represents in the as I said, so the radio access network part, and a new generation also of smartphones that support 5G connectivity. And then you will have what we call user plane and control plane. Control plane is the main equipments that handle control messages, and the user plane, let's say it's the internet connectivity that allow you to go to internet. So there are mainly two kind of 5G deployment today. The first one is what we call 5G non-standalone, as you can see here. And the idea on behalf of this is to combine 5G with 4G technology, which means that you will get only the radio access network part of 5G, so new generation of base station and antennas, but those base stations will be managed based on an existing 4G core network. This kind of deployment has been done by different mobile network operators around the world as, let's say, an intermediate stage, waiting for the deployment of the real and full 5G solution that we call 5G standalone. And here we will get an end-to-end architecture, 5G architecture, with the 5G core network, but and the 5G radio access network. So, what's 5G is about? There are mainly three main missions of 5G networks. The first one is about what we call the enhanced mobile broadband. It's it represents an extreme capacity, something that we estimate to being able to do almost 10 terabit per second per kilometer, which is very huge compared to 4G or 3G networks. Also, extreme data rates, which means that we can go to multi gigabits per second as connectivity speed, and also deep awareness. So it's much more related to optimization and discovery of the network. The second main mission of 5G, or functionality that 5G offer, is about what we call mission critical control. It's something that allow ultra low latency connectivity. So we can go to we can reach an end-to-end latency less to 1 millisecond. There is also the functionality of what we call ultra high reliability, which means that the 5G offer a network connectivity which is very reliable. So the number of packets that get lost is very few compared to 4G networks, and it offers also a strong security that will help to address critical use cases around healthcare and government needs. The third main category of functionalities is about what we call massive Internet of Things, or the massive deployment of IoT to address different kind of use cases, low energy, low complexity, deep covers, and so on. Another important concept in 5G that you need to keep in mind, and it's something that only 5G brings compared to other mobile network generation, is the concept of network slicing, which means that 5G offer the possibility for companies to get a dedicated end-to-end network resources for each category of user that the company has. For example, for factory, that you will have employees, sensors, but also, let's say, robots or drones. The 5G will give the possibility for the company to allocate a dedicated slice or end-to-end network for each category of user. So for employees, so for smartphones, tablets, or laptops, and so on, you will have mobile devices slice. For sensors, you will have Internet of Things slice, and for robots, drones, you will have critical communication slice, which means that for each category of user, 5G allows the company to to allocate so the needed resources, but also to be able to guarantee the requested quality of service that each category of user need. So that was few introduction and few overview, brief overview of 5G networks. So the question now is, okay, so we see that with 5G we will be able to do a lot of things based in this concept of network slicing, based on the low latency, ultra low latency that the 5G offer, based on the high speed connectivity, the reliable connectivity that 5G offers. The question is now how to monetize this technology. What will be the main use cases that we will be able to address based in this technology. So I put here some few examples of use cases. So let's start about business opportunities for consumer market. So when we talk about consumer markets, we talk about market that address end users and clients. So something that we call in French marché grand public, which means that okay, the our target here it will be end users for through smartphones or through laptops or this kind of devices. And here the 5G will enable different will allow different kind of use cases. The first one is around gaming using smartphones, tablets, or laptops. As the 5G offers this capacity of a reliable network, very speed connectivity, this opened the door for the development of cloud-based games, which means that for software developers, there is no need more to carry about uh, the hardware capacities of the smartphone or of the laptop. So you can develop your the game that you would like to sell or to propose to end users, and then you will deploy it within the cloud. And thanks to the connectivity level that the 5G guarantee, players will be able to use it with very seamless way, and the interaction with the game will be very interactive and very quick, which means that this really opened the door for a new kind or new category of games for the gaming market. And I put here some examples of startups that they propose that has already started this, and they propose already cloud games based on or through 5G connectivity. The second kind of use cases is about immersive technology, metaverse, and this kind of stuff. Here again, as the 5G offer this cap, this very powerful network, it will be possible for startups to propose different kind of services based on augmented reality and in order to offer immersive digital experience for different kind of use cases around education, training of people, sports as well, or also retail to propose an enhanced shopping experience for end users. And here again, some few examples of startups that they already propose this kind of services. The third use case is much more oriented for emerging countries, is about what we call fixed wireless access. As 5G offers very high capacity from networking point of view, for countries where network is not really developed for the time being, there is a huge opportunity here for companies to propose connectivity in order to cover white what we call white area directly based on 5G base stations and to offer what we call ultra low cost connectivity for emerging countries. And here, example for some companies that they are about deploying this kind of solution. For example, Orange, French mobile network operator, that proposed this for different companies in mainly in Africa. And then another category of business opportunity, this time much more oriented B2B market or business to business market. And here we'll find a huge number of use cases that 5G networks unlock, uh, mainly based on thanks to the concept of edge computing and mobile edge computing through 5G networks. Different use cases related to smart retails, smart cities, smart manufacturing, connected cars, and so on. And here some few examples. For example, for the industrial robots, uh, in order to guarantee this low latency, real time availability. And you have here example of startup that propose this kind of robots, which is, if I remember well, a Chinese startup. Here also another very interesting and exciting use cases, which is around smart retail. For example, to through computer vision to be able to detect in real time abnormal behaviors within shops, such as theft detection. And here are some examples of companies that propose this kind of solution, Extended Retails or the startup Mild C. And you have also some use cases around smart cities for either smart metering or smart mobility, with some examples. So AutoGrid or The Way. The Way is startup that propose very interesting solution for smart mobility, or mainly for electric scooters. What they are proposing is, yeah, instead of spending a lot of time to waiting for the battery to be charged, they propose the concept of battery swap, which means that you will you will be you will just swap the battery, so change it with another one, with very simple system, plug and play. And then you will not waste your time waiting for the battery to charge. You will just let it within the charging point and continue your journey by getting a new another battery fully charged. So very different kind of use cases, very a lot of opportunities that can be addressed by based on 5G connectivity. So this represents a huge opportunity for people that they are seeking for creating startups, or even or working or proposing different kind of software solutions. So there are a lot of use cases that can be addressed thanks to this new mobile network technology. Um, just yeah, few example, just very simple, just an example to better maybe understand and touch the real difference between 4G and 5G networks. It's yeah, I know it's tonight. It's a Champions League the night, let's say, with different games. So here an example of field test handled proposed by Ericsson in collaboration with Paris Saint-Germain. That I find this very interesting because it it shows us how really 4G and 5G are different from performance point of view. I don't know if you can run the video and share it from your side because I think if I do it from my side, it will not.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Good. So today you're going to feel the difference between 4G and 5G.
Good.
Do you see everything?
Yeah.
Let's find out, bro.
Now that's 4G. Now let's try 5G.
Easy.
Yeah,
Well done, bro.
Thank you.
that's 5G.
Namla. It's okay?
You're going to feel the difference between 4G and 5G. We'll start with 5G. So put this on.
That's it. I think yeah.
Yeah, good.
You can stop sharing. So maybe more stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it was just yeah an example to for that shows the importance of the low latency or the ultra low latency concept that 5G can offer compared to 4G, which is very important for, as I said before, for mission critical use cases. That's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed the presentation. That it was something that gave you at least another view of about 5G technology. And again, I'm very glad to be with you tonight, and I hope to see you
Sir,
again. Yeah,
we have some questions if you can answer. So, do
yeah,
you
sure.
want to answer them? Yes, let's go with the first one. So, Anfel, since 5G is being deployed and used, has it been able to satisfy its theoretical requirements, and what are its limitations that needed to be addressed in future?
That's a very, very good question because actually, when we talk, always it was always the case when a new generation of mobile network is deployed. It comes with a lot of promises, but from time to time, we have seen already that there are some promises that the technology will not be able to address once deployed within the field. For the 4G, for the 5G, the deployment has started almost 2 or 3 years ago, mainly based on non 5G non standalone deployment, which means only the radio access part of 5G. For the time being, the use case that has been deployed based on this deployment of 5G showed very good results compared to theoretical promises and performance. But for for now, I think we need to wait at least for 2 or 3 years to touch the real impact of 5G, because again, what is deployed right now, it's only a part of 5G network based on the 5G standalone, not non-standalone deployment. We need to wait next year when mobile network operators will start deploying the full solution of 5G in order to touch its real impact.
Mark,
Sorry.
Thank you so much, sir. So we have another question. Let's get it.
Yes.
For Algeria, what are the potential and most significant business opportunities, problems that 5G will help address? Thank you so much.
Yes. Yeah, that's a very good point as well. Yeah. Yeah. As you know, so in Algeria, 5G deployment has not started yet, but I think that it will start in the few coming years, maybe in 2 or 3 years. For Algeria, at least from my point of view, I think that one of the main use cases that can be that 5G will unlock is mainly use cases around IoT or massive deployment of Internet of Things for different kind of use cases. For example, for smart agriculture, to be able to throw IoT devices to enhance our agriculture production. It will help also for sure for use cases around Industry 4.0, but maybe for the Algerian market, it will be mainly for oil and gas market for companies like Sonatrach, Sonalgas, and this kind of big companies. And maybe also it will help for some few use cases around how to cover wide area for directly based on 5G connectivity without really waiting for the deployment of fiber optic or this kind of technologies.
Thank you so much, Mr. So I guess you answered the question uh, very clearly. So I think there are no more questions, and it's time to end the talk. We have many other ones now. So thank you so much for this fruitful talk, and I'm sure that the audience really enjoyed it and get a lot from it.
Thank you, guys. See you soon. Bye.
تسمع في
Thank you
عادل.
so much. See you in the upcoming talks.
هاي